What's up, Katie? What's up? How are you? All right. Let's see if we get a couple of people in, but I'm not going to waste time waiting for people to come in. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And if there is anybody else in here that doesn't know how we do things, or this is your first time in, I just want to let you know that we start off, we say a prayer. What's up, country? We say a prayer in the beginning of our live streams. After we say the prayer, we move on to look at some snakes, feed some snakes, talk about some snakes. What's up, Justin Wicks? How are you, brother? What's up? What's up, him? How are you? Thank you guys for all being here. But anyway, we take a look, we do some feedings, we talk. I take some time to look over the comments, and I answer any questions and stuff you might have. And we just hang out for a while talking about venomous snakes and, you know, their importance and everything. But if you don't mind, let's go ahead and bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight for another live stream here at the Virtual Reptarium. Thank you for the gift of life, for the incredible animals that you have created, and for the opportunity to share them with people from all around the world. Lord, we ask you to watch over everyone joining us tonight. Keep our viewers safe, bless their families, and bring peace and encouragement into their homes. We also ask that you watch over every animal here at the Virtual Reptarium. Keep them healthy, calm, and well cared for. Help us to always be good, responsible stewards of these incredible animals and creatures, and to treat them with the respect that they deserve. Father, let tonight's live stream be more than just entertainment. Let it be an opportunity to educate, to inspire curiosity, and to help people understand why snakes and other reptiles are important to our ecosystems and to the world. Give us wisdom in everything that we do, patience in everything that we teach, and respect for the power and the beauty of these animals. Help us break down the fear and misinformation surrounding snakes and replace it with knowledge, understanding, and appreciation. Lord, bless everyone who takes the time to watch and comment and share and support the Virtual Reptarium. Bring new people into our community and help us continue spreading the message of conservation and education. Most importantly, keep everyone safe tonight, our viewers, our community, and the animals in our care. We thank you for this opportunity, and we place tonight's live stream in your hands. And please keep the pointy end of these animals as far from me as possible while I work with them tonight and try to educate the public of their importance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, so it's going to probably pick up slowly here. That's what it did last night. We had a pretty decent stream last night. It took a little while to get rolling and stuff, but I'm sure it'll pick up here slowly. What's up, Jimmy? How are you, buddy? But it'll pick up. Like I said, we got a few things we're going to do. First snake I'm going to start with here is the variable bush viper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out that variable bush viper. Remnant Truth, what's up? But let me pull out the variable bush viper, and we will go ahead and get rolling along here. I don't know that that counter is correct because it started off saying 0 people, so who knows. But let me go ahead and grab this snake, and then we'll move on here to talk a little about her and stuff. Come here, pretty girl. Come here, pretty girl. Come on. You have to let go of your tree. There you go. There you go, pretty girl. So, guys, one of the first things with the variable bush viper that I want to show y'all is you see how she has actually picked up some bedding with her tail? That's because they have what's called a prehensile tail. A prehensile tail essentially acts as a hand or a thumb or something for them, allowing them to grip and hold on tight to tree branches, you know, the shrubs and stuff, because they are an arboreal species that spend a big majority of their life in the trees and in the shrubs and things like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to put her in a tree right here. We're going to get the camera turned around and focused on her, and we are going to go ahead and do our thing here with her. Now, these snakes here are scientifically known as etheric. I'm trying to turn her around here, but every time I turn, she turns. Come on, girl. She's looking at the tree. That's why. Let me get her a nice, comfortable spot here, and then we'll move the camera to her because she's not going to cooperate as far as me trying to put her in front of the camera. So let's go ahead and do it this way. Let me flip the camera. As you see, she's already just gracefully sliding through the gliding tree branches, and this just gives you an absolute awesome picture of, you know, what it would look like if they was in the wild in their natural habitat in the trees and stuff. And as you see, she's immediately trying to go for the highest point she possibly can with this tree. Yeah, Tom, we were here last night too, buddy. We must have missed you last night, man. But as you see, yeah, she's going for the highest point of the tree possible. She'll go just as high as she possibly can, and then she'll stop once she finds a nice, comfortable area that she feels secure. I think she's probably about there because she ain't got a whole lot more room to go. But we're going to let her go to where she wants and get comfortable and everything. And after she's comfortable, then we'll move on with what we intend to do here. Guys, it looks like we've only got 12 people with 12 likes. Now there's 15. Guys, please hit that like button. Every time somebody comes in, please hit that like button. We started off very slow tonight, so your likes would really help us out tonight more than ever with as slow as things started. It'll definitely be worth your time. So thank you. What's up, Dingle? But my tripod isn't any taller, so that's the highest up I can get the tripod, unfortunately. But let's see. Maybe I have something I could sit it on. I don't know. Yeah, let me grab this here, because I would like to have it up where it's looking down on her, where y'all can see her a lot better. Let's see if I can get her up on the snake holding receptacle here. Now I gotta lower the tripod. There we go. Now that's a pretty good view over here, so I'll zoom in just a bit if it'll let me tonight. Nope, it's not allowing me to zoom in once again. Whoa. Once again, it's not allowing me to zoom in like it did last night. I have no idea what's going on with YouTube, but it is messing up just a little bit. Katie, yes, I believe she is going to go in the shed before too long here. You know, probably not in the next week or two, but probably within the next month or so she will go in the shed. That's why her colors are just a little bit dull compared to normal. I'm going to try to move the camera closer since it won't let us zoom in. Maybe I can just bring the camera closer. I don't know why YouTube ain't letting me zoom, but whatever. That's insane, guys. We had a great stream last night, and tonight it's falling flat. Now, guys, I want to say this, you know, early on before we get too far. If I am going to stream tomorrow night, I have to walk away with $17.50 tonight. That's what I have to walk away with. Now, keep in mind that YouTube takes about 35%. So the real total is, you know, $20-something. So if I'm streaming tomorrow night, if y'all want to see a stream tomorrow night, that's our goal for tonight. If we don't hit that goal, we will not be streaming tomorrow night. No, Tom, the other night, if you remember, I said, you know, when we got to talking, I said if we hit our goal every night of the minimum of, you know, me walking away with $17.50 a night, I will continue to stream each night, and we have hit that goal for the last 2 nights in a row, so we'll see what tonight holds. All right, so let me go ahead and see if things are ready to go here. I believe they are. All right, there we go. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. Hey. Hey. Hey, pretty girl. I believe I got her slightly stressed out from pulling her out to do it this way rather than leaving her in the enclosure. But I can tease her a little and probably get her to take it. Come on, pretty girl. I'm gonna sit it there once and see if she'll do it. I doubt it. I think that I have her a little bit stressed out, you know, putting her up in the tree to try to do this. Hey guys, come on, we got 24 people in here. Let's get them likes up. Help us get this stream up there a little bit bigger, please. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Yeah, I hope we can make it too, country. We'll see what happens here. Last night, Bill Stillman and Snoopy. Bill Stillman and Snoopy really helped push us up there to where we needed to be. So thank you to Bill Stillman and Snoopy for getting us to our goal. Come on, girl. Alright guys, I don't think we should waste a lot of time. If I put her in her enclosure and we come back to her in a little bit, she'll eat for us. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put her in her enclosure and we'll come back to her. Thank you, Dingle, for joining the membership. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Dingle, your membership expired before you renewed. That's why it's saying that now. But, so yeah, let me put her away and we'll move on to the next one because I have her a little stressed out, but she will eat here in a little bit once we let her relax for just a while, and we'll be back to it. Alright, so let me throw her back in her enclosure and we'll move right on to the next one. Come here, pretty girl. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, pretty girl. Hey, let go of the tree. There you go, girl. Hey, whoa, whoa. You almost fell, girl. Here. Get that in there. Now, here. Come on, girl. Here. Come on, girl. There. All right, so let me move the water bowl out the way first. And once I get this water bowl out the way, I got a couple of hungry snakes right here for us. So, all right. I can't believe it's not allowing me to. Well, there it went. It finally zoomed a little. Sweet. Let's see if I can zoom out just a tad bit. Don't you strike at me, dude. Don't you strike at me. You be a good boy. You be a good boy. No, sir. Hey. Hey, Bubba. Hey. No, you gotta be a good boy. Shit. I gotta move some shit quick, guys. I got shit in the way. There we go. There we go. All right. So, hey guys, we got 28 people here, and there's 4 of y'all that haven't hit the like button. Please, please, please hit that like button. We really need your likes to make this work out, guys. So anyway, folks, these are the yellow phase timber rattlesnake, scientifically known as Crotalus horridus. They are native to the eastern United States. There is a pair of them in here. I know you can see them both. Maybe I can zoom out just a bit here. I guess that's all the farther it'll allow me to zoom out right now. But here's one rodent there. Let me rinse this one off and put it back in there for him. He did strike. She never strikes her rodents. But these guys here will both eat for us. Let me try to adjust just a little. And as you see, the one you are seeing on the right side is the male, the one with the fatter head. Sort of like Sue Tom and JT Tom. The male has the fatter head. I'm just joking, man. JT Tom's a great guy. But anyway, yeah, so got the fatter head. The female has that more narrow, smaller head. So these guys here, I'm going to back up just a minute here and try to give them a little space to let them go ahead and eat. And then as soon as they start eating and stuff, you know, we'll go ahead and move on to the next ones. See what to do here. So for anybody that's here that hasn't been around before and don't know exactly that here, again, this is the timber rattlesnake, and now this in here is the northeastern variant of them. That's why they are such a yellow color like that. And when a lot of people hear the words timber rattlesnake, they immediately think about a big, heavy rattlesnake sitting on a log, you know, rattling its tail and waiting for something to walk by. But there's a lot more to these snakes than that. The northeastern timber rattlesnake variant is a remarkable animal that has adapted to living in one of the more challenging environments occupied, you know, by any rattlesnake in North America. And when I say challenging, I'm not really just talking about in an environment with cold winters, you know, rocky mountains, forests, seasonal changes, and long periods when these snakes basically have to shut down their normal activity and survive on the energy that they have stored in their bodies. So tonight, let's take a closer look at this incredible snake. You know, the first thing I want to do, though, is clear something up. When people talk about the timber rattlesnake, they're generally talking about populations of timber rattlesnakes, you know, again, found in the northeastern portion of their overall range, you know, which would be, you know, New York, Pennsylvania, etc. Now, timber rattlesnakes are part of the species Crotalus horridus, and they occur across a large portion of the eastern United States. But populations can look dramatically different depending on where they live. Coloration, you know, patterns, size, behavior, and even the appearance of individual snakes can vary from one population to another. And that's one of the things that makes timber rattlesnakes so interesting. You can look at 2 timber rattlesnakes from completely different parts of the country, and at first glance, you might wonder if you're even looking at the same species. The northeastern animals can be particularly impressive. Some of them are jet black. Some of them have this lighter coloration, this yellow coloration, and that variation isn't just there to make the snakes look interesting. It actually serves a purpose. Camouflage is incredibly important to a snake, that spends much of its life sitting motionless, on things like rocks and leaves and forest floors and among the fallen trees. A timber rattlesnake doesn't need to chase everything that it sees. And the opposite is most of the time true. Their greatest advantage is its ability to disappear. A large snake can be sitting, just a few feet away from you, completely motionless, and you might walk right past it without ever realizing it was there. And that's one of the reasons why these snakes are so misunderstood. People sometimes imagine a rattlesnake as an aggressive animal that wants to chase people and bite people. That is simply not how these animals are built. A rattlesnake is an ambush predator. It has no reason to waste valuable energy chasing a human being. Its meals are things like, rodents and other appropriate prey items like squirrels and chipmunks and things. And it depends on the snake's size and habitat on what else they eat. The timber rattlesnake is an important predator because it helps regulate populations of small animals. And that's something that we sometimes forget when we're talking about snakes. We tend to look at an animal and ask, is it dangerous? But the much better question is, what role does it play? And the timber rattlesnake has a role. It is part of the ecosystem. And now, one of the most amazing things about the northeastern timber rattlesnake is how it deals with the winter time. Imagine being a cold-blooded animal living in an area where temperatures, drop dramatically and a lot of the times below zero, and when there's snow and ice and everything. And you can't simply turn up your internal body temperature. You can't put on a jacket, you can't fly south for the winter. Instead, these guys rely on a behavior called brumation. Brumation is somewhat comparable to hibernation in mammals, although it is not exactly the same. During the period of brumation, snakes' metabolism slow down dramatically. The snake isn't out, hunting like it would be, during the warmer months. Instead, it goes down to a suitable winter, let's call it a refuge, I guess. And it often returns to the same general denning area year after year after year for generations. And that brings us to another fascinating part of the timber rattlesnake biology. These snakes have strong sight fidelity. In other words, they can return to the same areas repeatedly, and some populations have been associated with particular overwintering, sites for hundreds of years. That means that, a location of a den can be incredibly important to the survival of a population of this species. And that's where conservation becomes extremely important. When people destroy habitats, they disturb den sites, they kill snakes unnecessarily, or eliminate important basking areas, they're not simply affecting one snake. They can potentially affect an entire population. And that's why education matters. If people understand these animals, they are much more likely to understand why protecting their habitat is so important. Now, just for a quick second here, guys, let's talk about the rattle, because that's a question I get very, very frequently. The rattle is probably the most recognizable feature of any rattlesnake. But there's something interesting. You know, the rattle isn't there because the snake wants to sound scary. It is actually a communication system, if you will. When a timber rattlesnake feels threatened, they might vibrate the end of their tail extremely rapidly, causing the interlocking segments of the rattle to produce that familiar buzzing sound. And that sound can be incredibly useful. You know, think about it from a snake's perspective. A human being or another large animal comes walking through the forest. The snake doesn't want to waste venom. Venom is biologically expensive and very taxing to produce on the animal. The snake would much rather warn the potential threat and have it move away. So the rattle can basically say, hey, I'm right here, you found me, give me some space. So I think that's a pretty good argument. The snake doesn't have to strike, and the person doesn't have to get bitten. Unfortunately, humans don't always listen. And that's why one of the most important messages we can give people is simple. If you encounter a timber rattlesnake in the wild, give it space. Don't try to pick it up. Don't try to unalive it. Don't try to make it rattle for a video. And definitely don't try to prove how fucking brave you are. The best interaction with a venomous snake is often the one where everybody walks away safely. Now, let's address the venom. Timber rattlesnake venom is very sophisticated biological tool, let's call it. It isn't simply some generic poison. Venoms are complex mixtures of proteins and enzymes, and they can have different effects. And venom varies among populations and individual snakes. And this is another reason why scientists study snake venoms. Venom isn't just something that causes injury. It has also become a subject of medical research. Scientists have discovered compounds in animal venoms that have helped inspire and contribute to the development of medications and other biomedical applications. So whenever we study a rattlesnake, we're not just studying something that can hurt us. We are studying a biological system that has evolved over millions of years. And you got to admit, whether you hate them or you love them, that is absolutely fascinating. And that's one of the reasons that I believe these animals deserve more respect than fear. Respect doesn't mean being careless. It doesn't mean free handling a venomous snake. It doesn't mean putting yourself in unnecessary danger for a video. Respect means understanding what you're dealing with and appreciating the animal for what it actually is. Here at the Virtual Reptarium, that's one of the messages I want people to take away. We don't need to turn venomous reptiles into circus acts. We don't need to take unnecessary risks to get attention. We can educate people. We can talk about biology, and we can talk about conservation. We can talk about behavior, habitat, venom, feeding, reproduction, and the incredible adaptations that allow these animals to survive. And we can do all of that while emphasizing safety. Yes, other channels that don't emphasize safety get lots and lots and lots of views. And they don't beg their viewers to make $17 a night to stream the next night, because people want to see danger. But they're not going to see it here. The goal should be to make people understand these animals. Now, one thing that I find especially interesting about the timber rattlesnake is its ability to survive in a climate that many people would never associate with rattlesnakes. When someone hears the word rattlesnake, they might picture the desert. They might picture Arizona, Texas, or some hot, dry place. But timber rattlesnakes prove that rattlesnakes aren't limited to deserts. They can live in forests, mountains, rocky hillsides, and other environments where the seasons can be extreme. And the northeastern populations have had to adapt to those conditions. They spend the warm months taking advantage of the opportunities available to them. They bask, they hunt, they reproduce, they build up energy reserves. And then, as the seasons change, their behavior changes with it. Eventually, winter arrives. The snake retreats, the metabolism slows, and the animal waits. Then spring comes again. The snake emerges, and the cycle starts all over. That's survival. And when you look at a timber rattlesnake that has survived many seasons, you're looking at an animal that has successfully navigated predators, weather, food shortages, habitat changes, and countless other fucking changes. That's pretty impressive when you think about it. Another important thing to remember is that timber rattlesnakes aren't living in isolation. They are part of an entire community of organisms. They interact with prey species. They interact with predators. They interact with plants in their environment. And their presence tells us something about the ecosystem they're living in. When we protect habitat for a timber rattlesnake, we're often protecting habitat for many other species at the same time. That's the bigger picture of conservation. It's not just about saving one snake. It's about preserving an entire ecosystem. And unfortunately, timber rattlesnakes have faced tremendous persecution over the years. People have killed them simply because they were snakes. Some people see a rattlesnake and immediately think danger. But fear can lead to unnecessary killing. Education can change that. If somebody understands that a rattlesnake is not hunting them, isn't interested in chasing them, and would rather avoid them, that knowledge can completely change the way they respond to an encounter. And that's why I always encourage people to learn before they judge. You hear me all the time. Somebody comes into the chat and says, snakes are evil, or I hate snakes. I say, I wish you would stay around and watch us a couple of times, and maybe you could learn something different about them. Learn the species, learn the behavior, learn the habitat, learn what to do if you encounter one, and most importantly, learn how to coexist. Because the truth is, humans and snakes share the same world. We don't have to love every snake. We don't have to want one in our backyard. But we can understand that the animal has a place here too. The timber rattlesnake is a survivor. It's a predator. It's a highly specialized reptile. It's a place of North Americans' natural history. It's an animal that deserves to be studied and protected rather than automatically feared or destroyed. So the next time you hear that rattle in a video, a documentary, in the wild, whatever, see a timber rattlesnake on camera, or maybe even encounter one from a safe distance in the wild, remember what you're actually looking at. You're looking at an animal that has survived for thousands of generations. You're looking at an animal perfectly adapted to its environment. You are looking at one of North America's most fascinating pit vipers. And most importantly, you're looking at a wild animal that deserves our respect. And you're looking at one of the oldest pieces of American history. That's what the virtual reptarium is all about. Not fear, not unnecessary risks, not killing animals just because they're misunderstood. It's about education, conservation, and then learning to appreciate these incredible reptiles for what they really are. Rattlesnake. And if you enjoyed this discussion, make sure you hit that like button, keep commenting, and let me know what you think about them. And remember, learn about them, respect them, and give them their space. Because sometimes the best way to appreciate a wild animal is simply to let it remain wild. Alright, looks like the male ate, but the female didn't. So we're going to hand it to her one more time here. You get out of here, fat boy. You get out of here, fat boy. You don't want this, do you? You want it, fat boy? All right, there it is. There it is. All right, now with that, we're not done. I'm going to lay it right there. There you go. Let me pull up the chat, guys, so I can see if you guys are commenting, if you're asking anything or anything like that here. Get the fuck out of here, man. All right. Oh, wow, we got 47 people now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Please hit that like button for us, guys. This is the black phase timber rattlesnake here. Just like the others. Justin, are you talking to me? I'm sorry, man, if I haven't read comments yet. It looks pretty good on my phone. Stinking pea, no, we won't be giving this one a live one. We only feed live when absolutely necessary. All right, I got you, Justin. I got you, brother. Guys, I'm willing to answer any questions and stuff you might have. Game in, game out, my day went pretty good. My day went pretty well. Thanks for asking. How about yours? This black phase may not eat, so I'm going to go ahead and take the... Or no, it's showing a little bit of interest, so let's give it some time here. I'm actually going to move on to the next snake, though, for right now. So, what's up, Keon? Long time no see, buddy. Look at this. This fat boy took the other one. But all right, guys. So now we're going to move on to the third. Oh, and I did not mention that the timber rattlesnake is the second most toxic rattlesnake on the planet. Well, or I'm sorry, in the United States, not on the planet. I'm wrong. But it's the second most toxic. This is the third most toxic right here. This is what people refer to as the Mojave rattlesnake or the Mojave green rattlesnake. And once I give it a rodent, we'll talk a little bit about the Mojave. Let's see, Mojave. Ready, bud? You ready, bud? You hungry? Ooh. Tag. Tag, you're it, mouse. You're it, little mousey. Just the Americas have rattlesnakes. That's it. Rattlesnakes do not live in any other countries other than the Americas. Guys, the Mojave green rattlesnake is one of the most famous rattlesnakes and misunderstood rattlesnakes in North America. Again, they are often called the Mojave Green, and that nickname tells you exactly what makes this snake so recognizable. Some individuals of this snake have a real beautiful greenish olive or gray-green coloration that, makes them look almost like they've been painted to blend into the desert. But there's a whole lot more to the Mojave rattlesnake than its color. They are very, very highly specialized predators, that have evolved to survive in some of the harshest environments in the American Southwest. Whenever you think about the desert, you might imagine, extreme heat, almost no water, intense sunlight, and very little food. And yet this snake has figured out how to make a living there. He's figured out something that, he can do in the desert with almost no resources that I can't figure out on YouTube. That's what makes it so fascinating. And the Mojave rattlesnake is found primarily in parts of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. They range all the way, from the desert environments where temperatures get incredibly hot during the day and surprisingly cold at night, and that means that this snake has to be an expert at managing its environment. It can't just be active whenever it wants. Temperature plays a very vital role in the life of a rattlesnake. And during periods of extreme heat, the snake usually takes shelter underground or beneath like rocks or in crevices or other protected locations. Then, whenever the temperature becomes more suitable, they'll emerge and become active. And that's one of the things that people sometimes misunderstand about desert reptiles. They aren't simply sitting out in the middle of the blazing sun all day. A snake has to carefully manage its body temperature, and that's why why basking is important. That's when you see them laying out on rocks and logs and things like that. As an ectothermic animal, the snake depends on environmental heat to regulate its own body temperature. It sometimes will move between, sunlight and shade, sometimes halfway in the sun and the shade, and using the environment almost like a natural thermostat, if you will. And the behavior is very important for digestion, movement, hunting, and other biological functions. Now, let's talk about the appearance just a little bit. The greenish coloration can be absolutely beautiful, but beauty isn't the purpose. Camouflage is. And, Mojave rattlesnake, just imagine a Mojave rattlesnake lying motionless, on the desert rocks, shrubs, grasses, and shadows. The right coloration can make that snake surprisingly difficult to see. And for an ambush predator like a rattlesnake, being difficult to see is a major advantage. The snake doesn't need to chase its prey across the desert. Instead, it can remain concealed and wait for an opportunity. And that's really part, of the strategy of an ambush predator is patience, energy conservation, and explosive speed when the opportunity. We are buffing. We buffered. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can answer any questions here for a minute before we go on some more. He is hiding from us a little, so I'm going to try to follow him. There he is. Sorry, Bubba. You're okay, buddy. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm just making sure we can see you. There you go, buddy. There you go. There you go. Zombula, what's up, brother? Good night, man. Good to see you, buddy. Ain't seen you in a long time. Y'all hit that like button for me, everybody, please. I know there's some people in here that ain't hit the like button. Darknet. Boy, there's lots of old names coming around there, Zom. Justin, I'm sorry, I just saw your question there. The black phase is rattling more just because he's, a little more defensive. He hasn't lived in a cage. These other two yellow phase have been in an enclosure for over a year now, where the black phases have only been in the enclosure for about a month and a half or something like that now. They live in an outdoor habitat. You had a run in with a big old rattlesnake at the beginning of this year. It was being moved along by a couple birds trying to get it to go away. It seemed they was chasing him or being chased. It was wild. That sounds pretty wild. Cool. What up, Hawaiian? What's up? What's up? What's up, Sue? I just noticed you're here too. I mean, I figured you was. Tom's here, but good to see you. What's up, Ray Lewis? What's up? What's up? What's up? Guys, we're not getting anywhere close to our goal yet tonight. Nowhere close to our goal. Alright, I'm going to feed the next snake. I'm going to go over to the bush viper, see if she'll go ahead and take a rodent now. What's up, pretty girl? Are you ready to eat? You ready to eat, pretty girl? Let me get your rodent here. Let me get your rodent. Really? Really? We're down to 14 fucking people, man? Fuck you, dude. I'm serious, fucking crazy. I'll be right back, guys. I had to go grab my cigarettes. Oh no, the fucking camera shifted for a couple of seconds. We gotta get out of here and go find something else to watch. There we go. Alright, so anyway, I'm just gonna close this up. I'm gonna let her eat that. I'm gonna go ahead and feed else here. Let's feed I'm gonna feed her real fast. She Natural, I feed them once a week. Nah, Katie. They ain't gonna do that. I can't for the life of me understand. Last night we had a couple hundred people at a time in here. Tonight we're back down to fucking 10 people. Guys, I can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I know it, country. I know it. I mean, you know, I look, guys. You guys, you know, that are in here, like I've told you before, you guys are great. I don't have nothing but good to say about y'all. You know, you group of regulars. I'm dumbfounded by a couple of things. Is all. You know, we at one point, up until about 2 months ago, we had somewhere around 50 to 80 regular people that we could count on almost every single night showing up. And out of nowhere, they vanished. Boom, gone. And fuck, I just lost train of thought. Oh, they vanished. And then, like, I see how many people, you know, come back in, or I'm sorry, I see some of the older people, like when our streams crash like they are right now, down to a small view count, they will rebound in a couple of days or weeks, you know, if I keep going. And we will see some of them old faces pop all back up, but they won't pop back up randomly. We'll get a bunch of them old people back in here all at one time. It's almost like YouTube, you know, and actually I've had some people tell me, you know, oh, I don't get your notifications, you know. So, I don't know, man. I just can't figure it out. I think the channel is doomed because of the way I built my audience. I gained the vast majority of this audience through vertical lives and shorts. Yeah, on the same exact night, Tom. Tom has been, actually, Tom was, when my streams very first started to get traction, about 8 or 9 months ago, maybe 10 months ago, because we're almost a year now. The second week of September, I believe, will be 1 year that we've been doing this. And me and Tom and a bunch of people were in my live stream chatting one night, and we had tons of people, man. It was going good. Next thing you know, I had to restart the live stream for some reason. something happened and I had to stop it and restart it. And when I stopped it and I restarted it, immediately there was nobody but me and Tom in that live stream again. No idea what the deal is. Hey, what's up, Diane? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, thank you. And you know what, country? I understand, and it happens to creators, but it happens to me consistently. You know, soon as we start getting carried away, getting tons of views and stuff, they will cut our knees off. Bam. Yeah, say your smart ass suggestion. I'm down to hear it. Hey, Sue, it's okay. It's all right. Justin's a good guy, Sue. We talk outside of the stream, you know, so anything he says, I just let it go in one ear and out the other, sort of like I do when I'm talking to him on the phone. Little fucking crybaby. Nah, that's all right, country. It happens. It is what it is. I'm not going to turn it into a bitch fest. I don't want to upset people. It is what it is, and that's why I say I'm here. I'm here for y'all. You know, like I say, I hate to put the weight on you guys, but if you want to see streams, you know, see the snakes and shit, you know, the day after, you know, the live stream, we gotta walk away with $17.50 each night. So. Hate to put that burden on y'all. If y'all can't or don't want to do that, I understand, and you know, we will proceed otherwise. Yeah, there you go, Justin. No, man, I watch, guys. You know what? Actually, never mind. Well, there's Luna. I'm not going to do it. Never mind. I was going to prove a point to you guys. Let me see if I have something here. If I have something here that I need, I can prove something to you all here quick. Watch this. Watch this. No, you don't want to get bit by that, that's for sure. Oh, I know you are, Justin. I know. I know it, brother. I'm not offended. So, watch this shit, guys. It's going to take a few minutes when I do what I'm about to do here, but I'm going to show y'all some shit. Rattlesnake shaking his booty. Yep. No, I'm not that brave, buddy. I just respect the animals, so they respect me. That's all. All right, let me get another snake out here quick. Come here, big boy. Come here, boy. Come here, big guy. Hey, come on, big guy. Hey, come on, big guy. Hey, let it go, big guy. Let it go, big guy. Hey, hey, big guy. Come on, big guy. Hey, whoa, whoa. Now, watch this shit. Watch. If we give this a little bit, just talking and stuff here. Let me get my hook here. Hang on, because he's climbing towards me, and I don't like that. But if we, no, you don't, bud. Come on. No, you don't, bud. That's why he didn't eat for us yesterday. I got to get the right angle here. Look at that. Look at that. The second I put a snake in a hand and put it on the fucking screen, oof. But this is the Tremorosaurus insularis, the blue insularis. They are also known as the Komodo Island pit viper. Oof, oof. And he's not happy. He's not a happy camper. He's not a happy camper, are you, Bubba? You're not a happy camper. Yeah, it's because he's going to shed dysfunction. He's going to shed real soon. You can see his eyes getting opaque and everything. Yep, that's right, Tom. I might have waited too late, you know, and we're not getting any impressions now. So it may not do what I was trying to show you guys. Or no, it's not too late. Look, guys, look at the counter now. Look at it slowly going up here. It's slowly going up. Come on, Bubba. Come on. Go over here so we can see you. Here. Come on, go over here. Whoa. Hang on. He got venom all over my damn phone. There we go. He got venom all over my darn phone. Quit spitting venom on shit, dude. Quit that. But so guys, for those of you that are enjoying this live stream, I'm gonna stop this stream, and yeah, I need to clean those nails. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this stream and immediately restart because I want to show you guys this. Watch this. My goal, game in, game out. The goal is I have to walk away with $17.50 each day. So YouTube takes like 35%. So whatever 35% added to $17.50 is what we got to hit. All right, so I'm going to stop this live stream right now, and I'm going to restart it immediately. So if you don't get a notification, come back in here right away. RKW, my balls ain't that big.